Hi, mighty companions and fellow miracle workers. Thanks for joining me for another weekly Wednesday wisdom video. I wanted to go on with what Carly talked about. Carly Hardy, my partner, on Monday spoke about the miracles that she's created in her life and asked what miracles you would like to create in your life. And I thought I would talk about the biggest miracle that's happened for me in my life. You know, A Course in Miracles says that there is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not bigger or smaller than another. But for me, this one feels really big. So this is what I decided to talk about this week. And it is the ability to stay in peace no matter what is going on around me. And I had something crazy happen yesterday on my Facebook page. I have a lot of conservative friends and a lot of liberal friends, a lot of family members from both sides of the equation. And I like to think that we can all just get along and support one another. But an explosion blew up because of a photo that I posted yesterday of my husband, Jeff, who is a deer hunter from way back. He was raised in Pennsylvania, and this was a family bonding experience that he shared with his father, his grandfather, and his brothers growing up. A very meaningful experience for him because he came from a family that did not have a lot of means. That was how they put food on the table. And it was the one time of the year that they really had a vacation where they could leave home and spend time together and do something together. I was not raised this way. I did not grow up around hunting. I did not grow up around guns. I'm afraid of guns. And it was a big adjustment for me to marry into this family. In fact, the first year that we were married 30 years ago, we were living in Frankfurt, Germany. I was posted there for my job. And my husband said to me, I'll be flying home to the United States to go deer hunting over Thanksgiving. He didn't ask my permission. He didn't say, do you mind spending Thanksgiving all by yourself the first year that we were married? No, he just said, this is what I'm doing. This is the tradition in my family. This is what's happening. I'm spending the money on the plane ticket. No questions asked. And I was in shock. I was like, what happened to this sweet, caring, kind, wonderful man that I married who always took my thoughts into consideration? All of a sudden, he's laying down the law and saying, I'm going hunting and you have no say about it. And this was something we fought about for many, many years of our marriage because I always felt like if he spent money on I always felt like his hobby of hunting was more than just a hobby. In fact, I came to understand that it's really a lifestyle. It's a year-round thing. There's planting food plots for the deer. There's buying camouflage clothes. There's all this craziness that goes with it that I'm not going to get into here because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that yesterday I posted a photograph of my husband with a deer that he shot during archery season, and it created an uproar. 163 comments of people taking one side or taking another side, attacking each other, calling my husband a coward, calling my husband a murderer, people who've never met my husband, and people taking the other side and saying, you shouldn't be attacking someone, and if you think it in your heart, then you're a murderer too. And it just evolved into a lot of ego nonsense. So the thing I wanted to share with you in this video is that at one time in my life, having all of these debating opinions and all of this conflict and all of this uproar over something that I had put out there would have sent me into a tizzy. I would have gone into a downward spiral because, like many women in our culture, I was raised to people please and to seek approval. And anytime there was accusations, criticism, or any negative commentary of this sort, I would feel this knots in my stomach. I would feel like very uncomfortable, a lot of discomfort. And in this particular instance, I noticed that I was able to step back and watch all of the fray see what people were saying and not take it personally and not make it about me. Because this is how the ego works. The ego says, I need to attack or I need to defend. And it's always in one of those two modes, attack or defend. And this comes from thinking that you're a person and that things that come up are directed at you personally, when in actuality, none of that is happening. The world is spinning on its axis and life is going on, and we are all moving through this illusory life that feels very real, but we're characters in a play. We are here to experience joy in life, to experience love, to experience connection and union and communion, not to beat each other up. And what has become very clear to me is that if I attack you, it's no different from attacking myself. There's an expression that's attributed to the Buddha. I don't know if it's a true quote or not, but that he said that attacking another person is like taking a hot coal and throwing it at somebody else. You're still going to burn your own hand in the process. So there's nothing to be gained by attacking others or making other people wrong. We don't see this as an attack when we make other people wrong. We see it as standing up for something that's right or for upholding the truth, but nobody knows what the truth is. Nobody knows. The truth is something elevated that the human mind cannot grasp. The human mind is in duality and it wants to take sides, make somebody right and make somebody wrong. And this is a battle that can never be won. If you're wrong and I'm right, I can't feel good about that. We are all in this together. We are all part of humanity. We are all the one Son of God, the sonship. And there is nothing to be gained by calling other people names, by singling people out, by attacking people. It may feel justified. It may feel, this is a kind of a spiritual self-righteousness to think that one person is better than another person. None of us are better than anyone else. We are all holy children of God. We are all spirit. And we all come from the same source. And many, many people on this planet are living in fear. That's why they feel the need to attack and the need to defend. And anything that we do that increases the fear is not helpful. We're here to be truly helpful. And what is truly helpful is to stand back from all the upset. Don't get involved in the fray, or as Jesus said in A Course in Miracles, to rise above the battlefield, to have a higher perspective. And don't get all involved and make things worse than they already are, because it's a battle that cannot be won. And frankly, nothing ever gets resolved this way. I always like to say that your opinion and $5 will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Your opinion really has no worth. In fact, I would venture to say that your opinion is a judgment. Your opinion is a judgment. When you believe that something is right or wrong, you're making a judgment. And Jesus told us to judge not. A Course in Miracles teaches us to stop the judgment, because the judgment is what creates conflict and keeps us in suffering. And who wants to suffer? Why do we do this to ourselves? So when judgment can be released, you can have preferences. You can say, I'd rather have chocolate ice cream over vanilla ice cream. But it becomes a judgment when you feel like your life depends upon it. When you're served chocolate ice cream and you go into an uproar because you wanted vanilla and somebody should have known that and somebody should have treated you better and, you know, they don't think enough of you to give you chocolate. That's a whole different issue from, I would have preferred to have this, but I'm willing to accept that. It's a preference. So opinions are judgments, and judgments are what prevent us from experiencing miracles. So the biggest miracle in my life has been to realize that I don't need to have an opinion on every subject. And I certainly don't need to share my opinion on every subject. If someone asks my opinion, I'm willing to speak my mind, but I don't need to make sure that everybody out there knows where I stand and how I feel on every subject, because that is an ego defense mechanism that we use to reinforce the idea that we are separate. That we are separate individuals. Yes, we're all unique individuals, but no, we're not separate. And so anything that you can do to prevent reinforcing the ego is good. And one thing that you can do to relax the ego and release the ego is to stop taking your opinions so seriously. And other people's opinions, don't take those seriously either. We all need to lighten up here a little bit. We need to learn to laugh, and we need to let things flow and let things go. That will create miracles in your life, my friend. I'm here to tell you from my personal experience that when you stop trying so hard to try to control other people and the way they think and make yourself heard, but just go with the flow, relax, live and let live, miracles start to happen. Amazing things start to happen. And the most amazing one that has happened for me is to have peace. To let go of the monkey mind that was always spinning in the past, trying to figure out what to say, trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure out what other people were thinking, and just enjoy life. You only get one go around here. We need to live it up and have a nice time. When people are happy, they treat each other nicely. Happy people are good people. So that's my message for the week. I'm Teresa McGallagher. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you'll go to our website, miraclestribe.com, and check out Carly Hardy's book, Spirited. It's amazing. And I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I love you. Bye-bye.